Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's been some time since I do voice recording. So in this Halloween event, we got second in the first competition. As usual, nowadays it's not easy to get first at all. It's because, there'll be gem spenders. I'm not forgetting the fact that there are gift code. Hopefully you get some of those. Haunted Tracks is one. And got to mention there's another one. I'm going to type out slowly to show you. So Haunted Tracks is one of the gift codes, and the other one is Trick or Tracked. All right, so these two are the gift codes that hopefully still works for you. Just go ahead and try and claim these two gift codes to get a little bit of so-called price from Pixel. So this event, I think, is slightly different in a way. I just find it harder because the fact that there are so-called some stopgap measures to allow you to proceed further. Before I come to that, probably I just give a very quick introduction to this event. Halloween event is not new. It has been running for, I would say, a couple of years since I start playing. So as usual, there'll be a repeat of such events every year during this period of time. As usual, you can expect Halloween this moment. So all the new events, normally there will be so-called batch trains, which are the event trains. So you must claim them in order to start playing the event itself, because without the batch trains, you can't collect raw materials. Not forgetting the fact that you've got to save up a lot of coin and event keys. Not to mention that later on when we exchange for the good stuff, which is the train rewards. But at the first juncture, to get this batch trains, you need a lot of keys. I'm not talking the event keys right now, I'm talking about meta keys. You need a lot of coins as well. Not only for claiming, but subsequently for the fleet upgrade. So you can see here, first instance, I'll do fleet upgrade because that is the first challenge for all events. So once that's done, you basically have a lot of extra EP from the reward path of that challenge. Then, of course, now let's enter into Halloween event, which should name it as the Halloween Harvest for this 2025. So it's a very simple map. You just show the raw materials. And of course, the one that takes the most time is this flea market. Then, of course, pumpkin. And the field will only take 3 minutes, whereas the flea market will cost you 50 minutes. As I mentioned earlier, if you do not have the batch train or the event train to start with, you can't play at all because you need that fleet market, which is only accessible by batch train. So you need at least 3 trains, or actually it's the best of 5 trains, but I know sometimes you may not be able to afford that amount of coins that required. You've got to save up, and hopefully by then you have 5 trains. All right, so with that 5 trains, that insufficient, you need to upgrade them like what I have done just now. And to add on to that, you need to activate the innovation center to increase the capacity. So that's relatively important because it's competition time. You need to spend your union dollars. So you get union dollars from union's play. So with that, you can actually increase the capacity for a period of time for your batch trains. So you can grab more raw materials, or you can actually deliver faster because of the higher capacity train that you have being boosted by the union dollars in the innovation center. So that's all about the train of the batch trains right now. As I mentioned earlier, the important stuff is to get a lot of event keys and 11 event coins, because those are the goodies you're going after in the event. As usual, you need legendary event train in order to do a special job. All right, so come to that later on as well. Now let's take a look at the progress map. As you've seen just now, the progress map is a bit strange. I know it's a bit of Halloween theme, but it's strange. But nonetheless, like I said, it's making things really tough. The huge amount of jobs that start with is a bit strange, because normally you only have 3 jobs, but this time around you have a range of jobs to be done and the only 2 levels of each type. So you're gonna do those 2 jobs. I mean, a couple of them are basically 45-second jobs, but you may not have the material to begin with. So that's the tricky part. So once you're done with that, eventually the jobs get stringed because there are only 2 levels per job. So once you finish that 2 levels, that job disappears, it doesn't regenerate because there is a funnel. What I mean by funnel is basically you can imagine a funnel whereby you have a big on top and then it goes down smaller. So it's like a funnel. You start with 6 jobs and then eventually funnel down to the last job and you get stuck if you don't complete it. And once you're done with that, as you can see from progress map just now, you could have finished that one last one before you get expanded again and the funnel restarts. So it really it's a pain. Like I said, it's a bit strange that is suitable for this theme as Halloween, but it's a big pain because you could have spent all you have saved up like what I did. I've saved up 100 over gems. I mean, we have increased the capacity of the event factory by spending 30 gems. Nowadays, I no longer increase another capacity in the event factory. I only do one upgrade which costs 30 gems. In the past, what I ought to do is I upgrade 2 manufacturing slots which cost 30 plus 80 gems, that would 110 gems. But nowadays I'll save the second ones, which is the 80 gems, to use it to expedite jobs instead, because like this design of a funnel job distribution, basically they're making life really tough if you don't have sufficient materials to go with. So you really need those gems to basically push things forward, expedite them by pushing things forward. So with that, you can finish that one last job that's basically being a bottleneck in the funnel. So once that funnel is cleared, you have a hidden funnel to begin with. So this is how frustrating it is for this event. So in the first competition, it's really important that we push through all the jobs completed as soon as possible, so you clear the funnel, the bottleneck that's been created by Pixel. So that is how frustrating it is. They have tried a bit many times to improve, inverted commas, the game. Basically, is to improve revenue collection. So they will want to make life really tough for you so that you spend real money to get gems, and then that's how they make profit after all. So it's not about the enjoyment of the player, but rather the revenue maximization they can get out of this game. Not forgetting, I mean, now there's TrainStation2. I mean, some of you be asking, isn't this Halloween event a repeat? After so many years, nothing has changed and they keep on repeating. You may get exact same events with the same pumpkin and whatnot, and even sometimes the same type of trains, more or less. It's because, I mean, there are other things to focus on by Pixel, because, like I said, there are TrainStation2, which they have put in a lot of resources, but they are not garnering enough support of players to play in TrainStation2, because I believe the games don't do well. That being said, I mean, they try their best to focus the resource to improvise TrainStation2. That would also mean that they wouldn't have sufficient resource to improvise TrainStation2 as much as they wanted. Of course, as players of TrainStation2, we do hope that TrainStation3 doesn't appear, so that all the resources will be allocated to improvise TrainStation2, but that's not the case, because eventually if TrainStation3 flies off, basically now is still stuck because not much players is going to TrainStation2. So with that flying off, TrainStation2 will be going down the drain. So that's what's happening in TrainStation1 right now, where TrainStation2 is successful, right? So when TrainStation3 is successful, TrainStation2 would follow the path of TrainStation1. So Colin is not lucky, TrainStation3 is not doing so well. So back to the game itself. I mean, now what you're seeing is the funnel, the end of the funnel, as I mentioned. I will left with 2 jobs. Once those are cleared, the new funnel will be set. So hopefully we cleared it fast. There will be challenges as and when. Just make sure you do those as well, because you get extra EP. Right, so now I unlock a few locations. You can see right now on the screen. These are the jobs being unlocked, and of course, there is one special job that required legendary train. That is what I stopped just now. Legendary trains, not any, but rather the event legendary trains, you need to exchange for using event coin, which is 1000 event coin. That will take you probably by the 5th competition, so it's almost the tail end. So you can look at this final process of the event progression maps. Is frustrating, right? So back to these legendary, I think the easy ones would be using 4000 event keys. You may be thinking, oh, I might have spent some exchanging for the common or the rare train. My advice is save up your keys. Do not spend any until the tail end. With safe enough, you have 4000 event keys, then you can go for that legendary train. Right, so I do hope this little tips do help you. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.